من الشيطان الرجيم. لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله. بسم الله.
Remember what Pharaoh said in the pride and arrogance of his wealth and power? And who is this Lord that I should obey? In Surah Yunus, Allah says about Pharaoh, "Today we will preserve your corpse so that you may become an example and ibrat for those who come after you." And surely most people are heedless of our examples. We all know the story behind it. The river Nile let Musa and Bani Israel cross safely, but when Pharaoh reached the middle, the two sides of the river clashed with each other, drowning and killing the haughty king and his army.
SubhanAllah.
His body was not even found for the centuries to come. It had been preserved.
Are you in the UAE? Well, check this out. This is our Amazon sales so far today.
The bed of the ocean till 1978, when a group of researchers discovered it, and the world saw another sign of ibrat and punishment for those who disrespect the Almighty. Shaddad bin Aad was the king of Yemen. He was a great sinner, arrogant and proud. He refused to take the path of Allah. The people of Iman in his empire would tell him to come to the right path, but in his arrogance and pride, he would say, "I don't need anyone. I have a long life. I have the jewels of the whole world. I will build my own paradise and be the God of these people."
A'udhu billah.
He challenged Allah to build a paradise on earth and be the God on earth. Na'udhu billah. Letters were written to the sovereigns of the East and West, and they collected jewels for 10 years. Then the city was constructed in 300 years. Shaddad lived for 900 years. When the people told Shaddad that the paradise was ready, he embarked on his horse along with all his ministers and left for his paradise. A journey of a day and a half was left when a voice from the sky came and took their lives. And there he was. He could not even take a look at his so-called paradise. Such was his power and might in front of the Almighty Allah.
La ilaha
Stephen
illallah.
Hawking, brothers and sisters, who does not know about this hell of an intelligent man? Did you know what he had said about God? In the words of Stephen Hawking, God is a fairy tale. Apart from the fact that he had been suffering from a neurological disease since he was 21 years of age, he suffered even more in his old age through his own wife, the love of his life, Elaine Mason. Shortly after his marriage to Mason, the professor began suffering a series of mysterious injuries: a fractured wrist, a broken arm, a split lip, a broken femur, 3 slash marks on his face. The media, Hawking's 2 children, all blamed Mason. Several nurses even came forward with testimony of Mason's rages, including one incident where Hawking typed, "I cannot be left alone with her. Please don't go. Get somewhere to cover the shift." Hawking's former assistant, Sue Macy, claims that Mason's behavior drove her to quit. "I left Stephen because I couldn't stand it," she told the media. Elaine is a monster. The injuries, she says, only happened when Hawking and Mason were alone. So what do you conclude? Is this even believable? Such a huge celebrity. His works are still under study and researchers are trying to get more out of them. But this is how he spends his life in his own home? Is this not Allah? Do you remember what happened to the great Titanic after his makers said that even God could not sink that ship? Na'udhu billah.
A'udhu billah.
They had already labeled it practically unsinkable.